Hi people, this is Varun Damle here, your tabla player, your tabla tutor and tabla teacher. I guess I am meeting you all after a lot of days in a video in which I am actually not having the tabla with me. The reason behind this is reinforcement. With reinforcement, I mean repeating the same things again and again. In a couple of episodes, or probably right from the first episode till the last episode, we spoke about things like the clarity of the theta, the position of the hand, the grip of the dagga, where to keep the dagga, the position of the hand on the dagga, the position of this index finger on the kinar. So I again repeat, see, whenever you practice, you have to keep an eye and a close check on where and how you are playing tabla. For example, fix a particular place in your house where you sit to practice. Then sit on a small chatai or a satranji, as we call in Marathi. If you don't sit on a satranji or chatai, what will happen is that if you sit on the plain ground, the tabla will shake and move ahead due to the smooth texture of the tiles. So all these small things would probably enhance your daily riyaz. The other thing is that you have to practice tabla every day. Every day means every day. I will share sort of schedule with you for tabla. I mean, play the dhatita dhadhatita dhagatinna kina kaida every day for 10 minutes. This I am talking about the beginners level. Then the rela of dha tirikita taka tirikita dha tirikita taka tirikita dha tirikita taka again for 10 minutes. Then the dhira dhira rela again for 10 minutes. So a minimum of 30 minutes you are supposed to practice tabla every day, every single day. Be it your college exams or your school exams or a sports festival in college or a very important lecture on science in your college, you have to make time for tabla every day. Now, when I speak about riyaz, it's not only about tabla. For example, if you're learning cricket from a noted master or a sports person, he will also ask you to practice cricket or probably practice running every day on the ground. If you are learning cooking from a noted chef, then you have to practice cooking. You have to practice peeling onions, cutting onions, and everything that comes into the topic of cooking every day. So this is an art which needs everyday practice. It needs a lot of physical practice. So this is one part of the practice. The other part of the practice is the padhant ka riyaz, I mean the recitation. For example, if you take the basic Delhi kaida, dhatita dhatita dhadhatita dhagatinna kinna tatita tatita dhadhatita dhagadhinna kinna dha, then you are supposed to say the first bowl, the second bowl, the third bowl, the fourth bowl, the fifth bowl, and the tihai. Now, whenever I particularly teach you kaidas, I give a pattern of 5 bowls and the tihai, but you can expand the qaida. I have a few students to which I have given nearly 40 different variations of dhatita, 40 different variations of dhatita tatita dhagena dhagatinna kina. So what I mean to say is that fix a particular pattern of 5 bowls and the tihai and then move on to the expansion of the qaida. But at a beginner's level, for the initial 1 to 3 years, you have to pay a lot of attention to the tone of the tabla, the balance and everyday riyaz. When I say riyaz, you have to listen to your own tabla. You have to probably observe the sound that's coming out from the tabla. Now the other part of the practice is the padhant. Padhant comes from the Hindi word of padna, to padhant. I mean, padhant means bowl recitation. When you say the bowls loudly, it is known as the padhant. For example, dhatita tatita dhagena dhagatinna kina, or take dhatita dhatita dhadhatita dhagatinna kina kaida. Now dhatita, you have to say the 5 bowls and then come on to the tihai, or probably end the bowl with the tihai. Dhatita dhatita dhadhatita dhagatinna kina tatita tatita dhadhatita dhagadhinna kina dhatit dhagena tinna kina, or dhatita dhit dhagena tinna kina dhana kina dhinna kina dhatita dhit dhagena tinna kina, or dhatirikita tak dhirdirikita tak dhatirikita tak tinna kita tak dhatirikita tak tirtirikita. Likewise, you are supposed to recite the kaidas. It's a kind of exercise that you give to your vocal cords. It probably increases or raises the stamina of bowl recitations. The other usable ways of where you can use a tabla padhant is that a lot of students come to me saying that the teacher has asked them to accompany a particular song in the first year of tabla learning, to which I have to say, see, tabla accompaniment, or the complete topic of tabla accompaniment, is a very serious and a topic that requires deep study of the art. One can't probably accompany or professionally accompany a vocalist right in the first year. All they could do is they can play the simple theka, but when you talk about the expertise that is there, it could take as long as 15 to 20 years of proper learning of the instrument. But for the basics, practice the solo first. Remember, the tabla as an art started with the complete concept of a tabla solo and not accompaniment. The tabla gharanas that came first were tabla solo gharana. Solo means whenever you play a tabla individually on stage accompanied by a harmonium player, it is known as a tabla solo. So tabla basically came as a solo instrument. So you need to practice the art of solo, the art of solo playing, the art of managing the lehra, the art of probably reciting the bowl as a solo instrument. So remove that from their mind ki tabla is primarily a accompanying instrument. It's basically a solo instrument. Tabla is a solo instrument, and then when you get the solos right, when you get the tabla dagga balance right, when you probably get a lot of material from the solos. I mean a dadra laggi from dhatita dhatita dhadatita dhaga tinna kina. Now dhaga tinna kina, this part is there, is a dadra laggi, is a sort of dadra laggi. Then the relas you pay dha terikit tak terikit dha terikit tak terikit dha terikit tak. Now when you remove dha terikit tak, the thing that remains can be a dadra laggi. So you automatically start getting a lot of materials from the solo that you have learned. So with this, I probably say ki practice tabla every day for half an hour to 35 minutes, especially for the beginners. I mean, even if you are working professional and you are a senior student of mine, or you are learning it from any good dedicated tabla guru, I would still advise it. How much ever you get busy, at least practice tabla for 35 to 40 minutes every day. Because if you don't practice tabla, even if you are a senior student, then I mean you naturally start losing the interest, because tabla is a physical art first. You have to, it's an art that requires a lot of energy in the fingers and in the forearms and in the complete hand. So you need to practice tabla every day, and then gradually as and when you visit your tutor, then he will tend to give you a lot of bowls, and from there the complete learning or the advanced level training goes. So practice tabla every day, practice padhant every day, and practice it for 35 to 40 minutes minimum. Students who are giving exams need to practice it for a minimum of 1 hour to 1 hour 15 minutes in a scattered way. I mean 15 minutes in the morning, 15-30 minutes in the afternoon, and in the night. So bifurcate the timing, but do practice. And this is what I want to tell the students. Practice it with all your will, interest, desire, and an interest from inside. Listen to what you're playing. Start the lehra and play it with the lehra. So this is what I want to reinforce. So all that we have learned, do it again every day, and go to a good tutor wherever you stay, or come to me. I also offer tabla sessions. So come to me, go to any tutor around the world, but go to a tutor who has dedicated his life only to tabla. If you want to learn the art of sitar playing, go to a tutor who has dedicated his life only to sitar and not to 10-15 instruments at a time. If you want to learn dance, so go to a tutor who has specialized himself or herself only in dance. Don't go to a academy or don't go to a professor who is jack of all trades but master of none. He knows tabla a bit, he knows kathak a bit, he knows painting a bit, he knows whatever, driving a bit. No, you need a dedicated and a focused teacher if you want to learn the intricacies or the nuances of an art. So with this, I end this short lecture. Meet you soon with another episode. Thank you. Varun Damle here. Bye.